Okay, so in this particular question, we've been presented with a situation where it's a sample of gaseous carbon dioxide molecules, and it occupies a particular volume at room temperature and pressure. And we've been asked to calculate how many moles of carbon dioxide is actually present in this sample. The guidance we've been given is that a mole of gaseous molecules occupies 24 decimeters cubed at room temperature and pressure. And well, if you want to approach this, we can convert this information into a equation, right? So in this case, we'll do the moles is equal to the volume occupied divided by 24, right? Now if we do that, we'd actually get our moles, and this is specifically if the volume occupied is in decimeters cubed. And what we know from our question is that actually our volume provided here is not in decimeters cubed. So to actually adapt to this particular question, we would need to convert this into effectively what it would be in the context of centimeters cubed. Now, what we know is that if we have, let's say, for example, 100 centimeters cubed, right? We want to convert that to decimeters cubed. So that, what would we need to do with 100? We would have to divide it by 1,000, right? And then it would be on 0.1 decimeters cubed, right? So similarly here, if we want to insert a centimeters cubed value here, we would have to divide it by 1,000. And so if we actually do that, what do we get? What we get is that the moles, this is now relating to a centimeters cubed situation, volume occupied divided by 24 multiplied by 1 over 1,000, right? And this is because this volume occupied here is in centimeters cubed. And if we just consolidate that, what do we get? Well, what we get is that the moles is equal to volume occupied in centimeters cubed. Let me just centimeters cubed divided by 24,000, right? So that's effectively what we would get, right? Now, when we can now consider, okay, that we've got our value of the volume, effectively all we need to do at this stage is plug in our value. Okay, so 82,560. And then that would be divided by 24,000, right? And that would give us what? So if you have a go at that on your calculator to figure out what that would be, you should find that you get 3.44, right? Now the question specifies that we should give our answer to 3 decimal places when necessary, okay? When necessary. Now in this case, is it really necessary to give our answer to 3 decimal places? Well, we're not actually rounding it from anything else, right? So it's literally, the answer that came out was 3.44. So actually this would be fine. And in terms of our units, of course, we've been asked to calculate the number of moles, right? So that would just be in moles. I could use a little bit of a better, at least a more visible color here. So 3.44 moles. And so that would effectively be, in this case, our answer. Okay.